Hello, everyone. It's Lori Staley, Addicted Stamper with Stampin' Up. And it is Monday afternoon at 3 o'clock, and I am live for Make It Monday. So if you are joining me, please make sure you say hi or hello, and maybe tell me where you're from. And we will get started here in just a second. I had some connectivity issues there for just a beat, so I want to make sure that I am actually live. It looks like I am. All right. Well, welcome to my channel. If you're new, I'm so glad that you're stopping by. Even if you're watching the replay, that's great. If you are a subscriber, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate that. And be sure to give the video a thumbs up, or a comment would be great as well. We're going to do a little housekeeping, and then we're going to get into the projects. I actually have two for you today. Both of them are, well, one's a little more traditional than the other one, but we're not really using Valentine sets today to create Valentine cards. So I'm anxious to share those with you. But first, just a final reminder that tomorrow, this product collection will be going live. This is the All Together collection. It includes a stamp set and dies, as well as these marvelous natural tone blends and some beautiful designer series paper, right? Now the blends will be carrying over. Hey, Carol. Hi. It's windy in Montana today, huh? The blends will be carrying over. So that's exciting. And they are going to be just our regular 2-pack, $9 a pack product. The designer series paper and the stamps and dies are while supplies last through this promotion. So I do believe that the stamps may be carrying over, but I don't think any of the rest of the products are. So make sure you grab those if you're in love with them. Let me show you the paper up close. So it's all black and white patterns, which if you follow me, you know I love black and white patterns because you can do so much with them. But really cute, fun, geometric shapes, some leaves, some checkerboard. And I tend to like the ones with the black background and the white images on them more than the white. But the great thing is with these, you can absolutely color them, right? And the new natural tone blends would be great to color the hands with. More leaves, those are fun. This pattern's one of my favorites so far. So one of the benefits of being a demonstrator is that you get to pre-order the product. So we were able to pre-order all of these pieces starting in January, and that way we're able to share them with you. So yes, I even have one of these in a sneak peek here that we're going to do in just a couple of minutes. Cute patterns. That might be a dupe. And then there's some stripes, some textured polka dots, and some tiny little hearts on the black background. And then white and black hearts on that one. And I think this would make a really cute anniversary card as well. So that's the designer series paper. Real quick, here's what the blends look like. The one thing I will tell you is that the blends in this case do not have a label on them, right? So you're going to want to label these when you get them. What they say where the color normally is like this one says SU 800, 100. I think it goes 100 to 1,000 if I remember correctly. So we have light, and we have medium light, and we have medium, and then we have medium, dark, and dark. So those are going to be your shades, all natural tones, great neutrals as well, great skin tones. You can do a lot of different things with these blends. Here's the way they look when you color with them. These, of course, are our first light, and then we have medium light, medium, medium dark, and dark. So you can, as I said, put your own labels on these, you know, use a mailing label and cut it down however you want to designate, because for me, some of those colors, I'm not going to be sure which pairs with which, right? All right, so that is the All Together collection. Again, it starts tomorrow. And if you are interested in placing an order and you do not have a demonstrator, you can order directly on my website. Now, this hostess code will go away tonight, but in the comments below the video, when the video is over, I'll load all the supplies that you need to make today's projects, and I'll also put the new hostess code that starts tomorrow. Okay. And if you do place a minimum $30 product order on my website starting tomorrow, these would be the card kits that you can earn. You would get a kit to make each card along with an envelope, as well as a step-by-step color PDF that I will email to you. If you're long distance from me, I do ask for postage to mail the kits. Otherwise, they're absolutely free. You can do a porch pickup if you're local, or I will have a class in early March for those particular projects. So again, minimum $30 product order online on my website using the host code that you're going to find below the video, and you will earn those card kits. Plus, remember, it's celebration, so you want to make sure that you maybe bump that up to 50 to get a celebration item for free as well. And then this is the card we made last Monday together for last week's Make It Monday. It was an easel card using the Blessings of Home stamp set and product line. And the winner of this is Carol Deegan. So Carol, congratulations. I'm going to pop that in the mail to you with your card kit this month. So hopefully you will enjoy that. All right, let's talk about some stamp sets that I'm going to use to create my first Valentine card. And one is a carryover from the fall or the holiday or the August through December catalog, whichever way you want to say it. This was the Nuts About Squirrels. I just think this stamp set is adorable. And of course, the Nuts About You is perfect greeting for Valentine's Day, right? I'm also going to bring in Turtle Friends for the little hearts here. Although this You Are Totally Loved could be a perfect greeting for a Valentine's card as well. And then I'm using one of the greetings from Art in Bloom. This is our hybrid bundle, right? The 3D embossing folder with the die cuts that you can cut out the flowers while you emboss. We're going to use Never Not Loving You on this card. All right, so let me show you what we're going to do. And we are also doing a sneak peek of that altogether paper, right? So this is the one that has the black background with the little hearts on it. This is a fairly simple card. The squirrel, of course, is a two-step stamp. So those are always nice because it saves you the coloring time. We are going to layer our paper together. Is that designer series paper again, and I just have a layer of real red. Now I am using kind of some traditional colors here because of course real red is traditional for Valentine's Day. I have a thick basic white card layer that is a 4 1/4 by 11. And then I just scored it at 5 1/2. But remember, you don't have to worry about any of the measurements because I'm going to post them below the video when it's over. Just give me a few minutes to get that done, okay? All right, so we have a layering circle cut from basic white. And I'm going to bring in some early espresso here. I have the outline image of the squirrel. We're going to stamp that in early espresso. Keep that kind of down here towards the bottom. Okay. And then we're going to bring in some cinnamon cider. Oh, excuse me. Tickle in my throat. That doesn't bode well. All right, so we've got some cinnamon cider and we've got the little squirrel here. This is the second step or the two-step image. I'm going to bring this down here. I'm going to try to make sure I stay in camera, but if I don't get it closer to me, I won't stand a chance of actually getting it lined up on the squirrel. So a couple of tips when you line this up. I look at his little paws that's holding the acorn. That is one of my things that I absolutely make sure is lined up. Then I look at his feet, and then I look at the top of his tail. So I'm really looking for 3 points, right? 3 points of the image in the hopes that I can get that lined up. And that's actually very well aligned, so I'm happy with that. And I just love the cinnamon cider. I'm so sad that that color is going to retire on us, right? It's one of my favorites from those colors that will be retiring. And remember, it's going to be cinnamon cider, Misty Moonlight, Magenta Madness, Just Jade, and Bumblebee that's going to be leaving us. I don't think there's any way that you will be able to see this on camera, but this is the two-step stamp for the base of the acorn. And there was this little, when I first got this, there was this little notch in the photopolymer, and I thought, oh, it's a highlight mark. No, it's actually his little paw. So it helps you to align this as well. If you see where that little paw is going to line up, and then you have the point of the acorn as well. See how we did there. Okay, so our highlight is on the left side. And we're going to go ahead and put the cap on as well. That we'll use the early espresso for. There we go. So we have our little squirrel lined up. I'm going to layer him on some real red. And that's where those little hearts from our turtle stamp set that coordinates with the punch. That stamp set is found, that and the punch are found in the annual catalog. So we're going to mount that right there and add some red hearts. And I can layer this together. So I used the two largest dies from Layering Circle, the largest circle, plain circle, and then the largest scallop circle. Nope, still didn't get it lined up. Let me try one more time. If you go with a little bit smaller circle, which you probably could, I think this image would fit on the step down. You could actually, and you'd have a little bit wider of the scallop red border, right? All right, so we're going to put our little squirrel down here, kind of off center towards the right. And then we're going to bring in a strip of basic white, and we're going to bring in a punch. And this is the Label Me Fancy. I had to go grab it because I forgot to grab it. This is the Label Me Fancy punch, okay? So this is the one that has the slot for the ribbon or a tiny little hole for baker's twine. We're going to use this just a little bit differently. So the first thing I'm going to do, right, is, because I don't need it to be quite as long as it is. So let's go ahead and stamp the greeting on here. I'm going to show you a trick on how to adjust the size of this punch. So I've got that Nuts About You from the squirrel set on here. And we're going to put this into the punch this way. So we're going to wiggle it in there. Or maybe I'm going to go this way. This way will be easier for me to hold the punch, right? And this is about, you know what, I'm going to trim that down just a little bit. I thought I had it trimmed to the right size. I originally had this at 1 1/8. We're going to bring it down to 1 1/16. And that will allow us to slide that into our punch. And I don't know about you, but I sometimes forget to do this, and it's a fun little trick to use and expand our punches. There we go. Move this out of the way. And now I can get this in here, I'm sure. I say that, but it's going to make a liar out of me. Here we go. We'll come in this way. How about that? That's what we were trying to do. So we're going to line this up. We'll give ourselves a little bit of a top. and we're going to punch. And then we're going to flip it around and we're going to do the same thing on the other end. This time I can bring it down like this and hold it. Line that up. I'm going to give it a little bit more space. There we go. And punch. So now we have a cute little label just by making the width of the whisper basic white, the width of your punch, and pulling it through like this, right? Or you can come in from this angle and pull it through like that. You can do that with a lot of our different punches. This is going to come right up here in the top corner. And believe it or not, I think we're going to use some dimensionals. I know if you follow me, you're shocked because you know my love for dimensionals. And I actually have a brand new sheet here that I haven't even marked. And that's going to go right there. And I'm going to bring in the new classic matte dots. So these are new in the mini catalog, the January through June mini catalog. I'm going to grab my take your pick tool, and I'm going to use the putty end to pick up my dots. I'm going to put one at the top and one at the bottom. Ties it in with our background very nicely. And it gives us the accent that we want or the embellishment that we want on our card front. So, and I think this could be a cute card for your husband or your boyfriend, your significant other. It could be a cute card for a child, perhaps. The inside of our card is going to get our greeting, and we're going to do that in the real red. Actually, we're going to do it in the early espresso, I think. And then we'll add a few extra hearts on the inside. Oops. Okay. And our hearts. I'm just going to position them right there. All right, so there is project number one, maybe stamp set that you wouldn't consider necessarily a traditional Valentine, but it definitely works. And you could even write Happy Valentine's Day inside if you wanted that phrase. You could, as I'm going to show you on the next card, we have a beautiful stamp set called A Wish for Everything that has Happy Valentine's on it. So you could absolutely use that and add it as a second layer inside your card. Okay, so project number one. Remember, if you're watching, whether you're watching current or replay, like and share, comment on the video, and I will be giving away these cards next week, next Monday. And we will be popping them in the mail to you very quickly on Monday because, of course, Valentine's Day will be very close, right? You'll be about a week out from Valentine's Day. All right, so let me show you this next one first because I do have a sample of this one made up. Here's another non-traditional Valentine's card. And between you and me, this is going to be my husband's Valentine's card. When we first started dating, we spent a lot of time at the ocean together. And so I thought this was a perfect card, non-traditional colors, not heartsy, not lacy, really good masculine Valentine's card. So we are using lots and lots of stamp sets on this project. The first thing is the new Gentle Waves background stamp that's in the January through June mini catalog. That is how I got my ocean. I'm going to use my Stamparatus, so I'll show you how to do that. Of course, this is a set that we've had around for a while, but it's still a great one. Hi, Connie. This is the Sailing Home. Oh, I'm glad you found me. This is Sailing Home. So we're using the lighthouse from that. We're also using our seagulls from that. Here's that Wish for Everything stamp set that I was telling you about. So this has a ton of greetings in it, right? And so much fun to put those words together. This is a bundle. No, I don't even think it's a bundle anymore. It's sold separately. So the stamp set and the dies are sold separately. The dies are very cool as well because look at these. You have all these fantastic words, right? You've got Valentine's Day in here, so you could do something with that alone. All kinds of, I think there's Easter and Mother's Day and Christmas and happy and all kinds of fun words that you can die cut from there. So that is always good. We're also using Oceanfront, which is a brand new stamp set that's in the mini January through June catalog. And we're using Whale Done, right? My love for you is bigger than the ocean. How cute is that? We also have some stitched rectangles in there that we're going to be pulling together. So with that said, let's get started. Now I did go ahead and I cut the stitched rectangle from a piece of basic white. And of course, this is what our layer here is, right? We have a layer of Misty Moonlight. Again, one of those retiring colors that I am going to desperately miss. We have our layer that we're going to create our ocean on. And we have our lighthouse. And again, in the respective time, I went ahead and I stamped the lighthouse in Misty Moonlight and I die cut that as well. So let's grab our blending brushes. We're going to be using, of course, blue and brown. So my blending brushes, I label by color family. Now, if I have bright blues, I might have a bright blue and a dark blue or a bright pink and a dark pink. But otherwise, I just use them interchangeably in the ink colors. We have Balmy Blue and Crumb Cake that we're going to create the outside of the frame with. And I'm going to start with the blue. I always start off my paper so that I don't get a big blob of color, right? And lighter is better. You can go back and you can add more, but you can't always take it away. I love how the stitching on this is picking up and being a little bit darker because it offsets our picture behind there, right? So we're going to come forward like this. And again, you can go back and you can add more. But you can't take away. So I think right now, I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to go ahead and get our background stamp so I know exactly how high up to bring our sand, if you will. Grab my Stamparatus, and I have the stamp set, right? This is the, oh, sorry, there's my voice again. This is the Gentle Waves stamp set that we're going to use. I have it in this orientation because my ocean is running this way. And I want to make sure I grab the right piece of basic white to put behind it because I also have a piece for the inside of our card. And I think I have the right piece. So this is going to go in the opposite orientation. We want the image to be landscape and we want the waves to go this way. Let me get that more solidly on the table here in front of me. If you don't have the Stamparatus, this is an amazing stamp positioning tool. You will love it. It will save you tons of time. I'm not going to use any magnets. It comes with 2 earth magnets which are super, super strong. I'm not going to use any of those today because my piece of cardstock is actually smaller than my stamp that I want to use. So we're just going to ink this up Not going the whole way because I sponged in the sky. So I really just want the waves for this. And I'm going to grab my chamois. And I should have checked my chamois because it's a little bit dry, but we should be able to make this work. I'm going to wipe this off down to where I want it, right? So I'm going to take away any excess color that I may have on here. And this chamois is one that we sell. Believe it or not, this was purple at one time. It does get thrown in to the washing machine to be washed. And just going to take off that extra little bit of color there. I think that's good. I think we'll leave it right there. I actually cut that chamois in half from the size that we get. And then I have a trick because my hands get very tired. So it's just a whiteboard eraser that I use to apply the pressure, right? Works beautifully. I'm gonna eyeball where that paper is. It should stay, and it did. And I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, I like that. So we're gonna pull that off. I can use my chamois to wipe off not only my grid, but also my stamp. And we'll clean that up a little better when I have a chance to put some water on the chamois, but we got the image done. All right, so now I'm going to go back to that balmy blue. And again, making sure I start off the paper, we're going to put our sky in. You can see I'm not applying a lot of pressure on the head of the brush as I do this. I want it to be flexible. And I want to be able to control that color. Going back and adding more depth as I need to. And amazingly, we used the stamp, so the color of the balmy blue is much deeper for the ocean, which is exactly what we wanted, and lighter for the sky, right? And I think that looks good. So we're going to stop there with that. Now let's see, when I put this on here, we're going to be able to trim the top edge off because I want as much of that ocean showing as possible. I'm going to come down just a little bit further on the frame. That looks pretty good. Let's pull this off here with the balmy blue. Okay. Then I'm going to grab some crumb cake. Hello from St. Louis. I use balmy blue on that, Francis. And then I also use balmy blue with the blending brush to create the sky behind it. And now I'm going to use some crumb cake to put in the sand. And here is what we're making. So we're doing a masculine, non-traditional Valentine's card. No hearts in sight, no flowers for our men, although some men like flowers. And again, always starting off the paper with the brush so I don't get a big dark spot. And when you're doing a frame, you want to make sure that you're holding it nicely in place, right? I think that looks good. We're going to stop there with that one. You bet. You bet. All right, so let's grab some of our stamps now. I've got a couple of the grass images as well as the sandy image from the ocean front, right? So we've got this and we have this, and we have this that we're using. We're going to do it tone on tone. So we're going to continue to use the crumb cake. And I'm just going to put that down there on the corner. And I'm going to add some sand. The speckle stamp is great for sand across there. Okay, and then I'm going to put the little grasses in this corner. And I chose to do that because we're also going to add our lighthouse in that corner. And I didn't want it to be overwhelming with a lot of imagery there. So I am going to be able to trim the top of this off. I'm just going to do that with some scissors because I want as much of that ocean as we can put into the picture. See how this comes out for us. Oh, this is going to work. Yep, look at that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just lay this on here so I can get the positioning for my birds. Also going to lay my mat. I do this a lot when I'm creating, right? I just kind of orient everything so I get my right positioning going on. And believe it or not, I did not stamp the birds in the memento. I stamped them in Misty Moonlight. Again, we're going to stay a little bit monochromatic with the blues, just using the two tones. So we're going to bring these guys right about there. I love that we have so many options for seagulls right now. It's really kind of cool. I'm going to set that over here for 1 second while I create the label. I gave myself 2 pieces of basic white just in case I need them. Don't always get everything straight the first time, right? All right. See how we did it there. I'm going to flip that over. I was a little far. I'm going to drop this the whole way down here. Hopefully I'm still in camera, but stamping away from me does not let me see that I was stamping away and I was doing white on white, neither one of which is going to be successful for me to be able to get it aligned. So we're going to give it another go and see how we do. Oh, I like that one. Okay, so we're good. Anybody else have that problem when you're trying to stamp out here? Maybe you don't do it. I think we only do it because we're on camera and we're trying to keep everything centered for you. But yeah, it just doesn't work. And then of course the cardstock being white on the white grid paper doesn't really help me see the outside edges. Okay. So here is what we're going to do. We are going to use a different adhesive to put this together. And this is the perfect application for this particular adhesive because I want this to be almost like a 3D effect, right? So we are going to bring in the foam adhesive strips. These are found in the annual catalog on the adhesive page in the back. They are great when you're creating frames and you want the depth and the dimension the whole way around. We're going to lay that upside down. These are nice and long. You can pull them right off. And we're literally going to use it just like this. And then we can cut it up here. We can bring this across. Just make sure when you do this, and she says hopefully that it's going to work for her, that you are positioning that so that it will catch the edges of your piece that you're going to mount it to, right? I think I'm close enough to the stitching that I'll be fine. But I love this. It's quick. It's easy. It is definitely saving me on dimensionals because I would have to put a ton of dimensionals on there to make sure that it stayed up the whole way around, right? It didn't sag in the middle or anything. And then you can put whatever you've left over right back on and go right into the bag. You actually get 2 sheets of those in a package, which is fabulous. It's tons and tons of the strips. And they work beautifully for a project like this. All right, so make sure your sand is where you want your sand to be, not at the top. That would not be good. And there we go. And we did. We caught it on all 4 sides, so that's perfect. We can go ahead and mount this to our card front now. You could use Tombow liquid glue. You can use your seal, whatever's going to work the best for you. And this is going to go, just has a small 1/8 inch border the whole way around it, as an accent color, if you will. Our lighthouse is going to go right here in this corner. So we are, in fact, going to put just some seal at the base. And then I'm going to grab those dimensionals again, because I'm going to want them at the top portion of our lighthouse. She'll love it when it won't come off. All right, so we're going to put this down here, just like that. And then the same thing with our tag. So the one edge is up, right? Because this is already raised on this side. Well, now, don't ask me what I did with those dimensionals that I had, but that's okay. Because what we're going to do is we're just going to put dimensional on the one side, adhesive on the other. Okay. This allows us to have a level playing field, if you will. I'm going to put the tag the whole way out to the edge, so it's aligned with the frame edge. It does not want to go straight for me, does it? There we go. Okay, so there is the card front. What do you think, guys? I managed to get away with not needing the second little whisper white or basic white strip. I still call it whisper white, even after all this time. It's crazy. And then let's work on the inside of our card. So I'm using You Are My True North. I think. Yeah. And of course, that is from the Sailing Home stamp set. I'm going to try to make that straight on here. We're going to stamp our inside in the Misty Moonlight. You could also choose to do it in the Balmy Blue if you liked. So here's my story. And I even have a sticker in there to remind me. I mounted my sticker upside down. And if anybody has ever done that, you know, there is absolutely no way to get that off. So this is now the back of my cardstock. And I have to remember to, you know, over 18 years as a demonstrator, I've never done that. I've done it twice in the last 2 months. I don't know what's going on there, but I have. And then I do have for this one, the Happy Valentine's Day from A Wish for Everything. It is 3 separate words. You just line them up. Now I am going to stamp that. Yep, that's straight. So we're good there. And then I'm just going to put that underneath here. And that's going to be the inside of my card. And there we go. There is project number 2, another non-traditional masculine Valentine's Day card. Using a lot of the product is in the annual catalog and some of the new product, which is of course our new background stamp, Gentle Waves, and the Oceanfront stamp set. And then here is our squirrel, which is our carryover, and showing you a different way to use the punch to create your own customized labels, if you will. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for tuning in with me, whether you're live with me right now or you're watching the replay. I appreciate it. Please give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and I'll be back with a recorded Make It Monday next Monday, as I have an appointment at 3 o'clock. So otherwise, I will see you soon. Oh, you can always hop over on my Facebook page and join us there. Have a great day and a good week. Thanks. Bye.